Well, I'm long overdue for a YouTube video. I have been very busy working on the Gail series. I finished it was about a 44,000 word story on the death of my stepdad, and my men actually went to heaven to build him a house to welcome him. It's an amazing story. Yeah, Jesus allowed them to go to heaven to build a house, knowing that he would go on. And I'm currently now working on the Quebec trial story, which is the story of my introduction to Laurie McBride when she was bad. And yeah, I'm wearing the jewelry that my husband, all my men get me the most expensive jewelry here. Howard Hughes bracelet. This this is like a rare, I forget what the good. This is here a diamond ring from Brent. Then there's this one here. This is obviously diamond, and it likes to hang low here. Anyways, I've been really busy this week. We've had some really cold weather, and I bought me some winter gear, and I've gotten along 3 years here without a car. It's absolutely amazing. When I lived in Florida, I never dreamed that would be possible, but I have been managing. I take the bus and I walk. Since I figure I have to since I have to walk anyways to do the Gail commandment, Jesus likes me to walk a half an hour a day. He gave me that rule starting at the end of October 2013, and I've been doing it faithfully ever since. It is a Gail commandment. So I walk, and I figured might as well, it's kind of fun to incorporate shopping into my walk, so I buy my I live like the Europeans do. One day I shop every day, and that way I can handle it without a car. Yeah. Another thing is Jesus has forbidden me to order anything online. I'm not sure of all the reasons, but I've learned to respect whenever Jesus tells me stuff. And lately it's been like, I have difficult feet. I have metatarsalgia, I'm not sure I pronounced that right, and bunions. And I have difficult breasts too. And I've noticed that all the local stores in my area, like we had a New Balance store in my town, and it's gone. Oh, yeah. And that's where I bought my insoles last time, because when I first moved here, I could buy Atrex insoles at several places, and now nobody carries them. The only way I can get them is online. So, determined to obey Jesus, I'm going to have to respect this, because I have learned when I don't do what Jesus wants, the Gail shield will fall, and he usually has a very good reason for this. As you all probably know, the automatons I believe that they're lined up with Satan and the Genghis Khan Nazis, and yeah, so it's very possible that if I order anything online, that maybe they'll be able to commit identity theft and hack into my cards. So I'm just going to have to respect that. Yeah, so what I've been doing is I'm having to be creative. So I thought, okay, since I can't get Atrex except ordering online, I will see if I can find another insole. And then I found some New Balance insoles about a year ago that worked for me. And now the New Balance store is gone, and there's no place in town where I could get them. Jesus likes me to shop in store, in person. Yeah. So now I'm going to look into Superfeet. There are some Superfeet insoles that are pretty equivalent to mine. Anyways, and then the cold weather was really rough this past week. I don't like to be, Buddha told me that it's good for me to go out and explore new places to keep my chakras fresh, and it's one way to avoid obsessions. So, and the last time I had dealings with Satan, he didn't want me to go out. He said that helps Jesus. So I thought that's what I need to be doing, is going out. And now the weather has been, like last year we had nasty weather for a couple days where I was not able to go out. This year, in the past week, the weather was in the 20s and lower, and it was so cold that when I went outside, even my gloves were not keeping my hands warm. And I looked at the weather reports, and it said that on Friday we would have snow, quite a bit of snow. And everybody was getting prepared for it. When I went to the grocery stores, there were lines. People were preparing for it. So I thought, okay, girl, if you're going to just... Though Jesus once told me that I would be excused from going out and walking if the temperature was like lower 30s or below. The problem is it's been lower 30s and below for almost a whole week. So I thought, this isn't going to be good for your chakras. So I decided to brave the weather. But, when I went out there, I had to wear cloth face mask to cover my face, double head covering, like one cap and then another one on top of that. And my gloves, even wearing two of them, one on top of the others, was not keeping my hands warm. So I went to Walmart and bought me ski gloves. Yeah. And even they didn't work 100%, but they were better than what I had before. So I went and bought ski gloves and a quilted jacket. I already bought, last year I bought thermal underwear, so when it's that cold, I wear one layer of thermal underwear, then another layer of thermal underwear, and my windbreaker jacket. But I found when it gets down to like the 20s, even that's not enough, especially if you factor in the wind. So I went to Walmart and bought a quilted jacket, and that solved that problem. Then I noticed my feet were getting cold, and even through my winter socks. So I thought, goodness, and when I checked the weather reports, it was saying that we might have snow again. Now, it seems like that's been upgraded. It seems like since I'm going gung-ho on the Gail series, I would say at this point, I am about 1/4 to possibly 1/3 of the way done with the entire Gail series. Considering that there are like 110 stories total, I'm making pretty good progress. And I'm almost done with another big story. So yeah, but I want to make sure, I notice when I go outside and visit new places and just get out, I do better on my writing. It's because I'm less likely to be obsessed, so I'm more likely to approach my writing objectively, and I have more clarity about how to write the story so that people will garner the lessons that I learned from the experience, which is my purpose in writing the Gail series and even in making these YouTube videos. So yeah, I thought, it looks like the automatons and the Genghis Khan Nazis have orchestrated the weather to try to keep you indoors so you'll fall prey to obsessions. So I went to the trouble to get me some winter gear. And I even found, but with my difficult feet, getting winter booties was a challenge. And I definitely have to go in store and try the shoes on. I found some winter booties at a store that I had to take the bus to go to. I actually had to stay home one day. It was really bad out there. Yeah, I was afraid I would slip on ice. So one day I stayed home. The buses were not running that day or the day after. And that I think, but I prepared for it. That was Friday. I knew it was going to be really cold. And I said, you need to get out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday as much as you can, because starting Friday and Saturday, you are going to be... I was able to go out on Saturday, but we did have a lot of snow on Friday. So I'm if I had not gone out on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, even though my fingers felt like they were going to freeze off, I probably might possibly have given way to obsessions. But yeah, going out really helps me with obsessions. So I am committed to going out so that I don't have that problem. The God Buddha said going out and visiting new places, especially if it's something you enjoy, is the strongest form of meditation there is. So I've been doing that. And I have noticed that it helps with my writing. So I finished a major story. Basically, the story was entitled Lizzo Murders Gail's Stepdad. But it was a combination of about 3 or 4 short stories together that I felt were strongly related. So I just combined them into like a novella. And because it was about 44,000 words. So basically, I started off with, dealings with where Lizzo rammed into my stepdad with a golf cart. I went into a little bit about how she was an interdimensional mite and not a Jesuit, and how Satan knew this and he was playing like games with all of us. And then I went into how my men and I dealt with the injuries that he got and dealing with my mother. Oh, it's a kind of a complicated story, so I had to do a lot of rewrites to make sure it wasn't confusing. But I pulled it off. That's probably the most challenging story I've written to date. So it took a while for me to write it, but I pulled it off and I'm really happy I wrote it. It really gives people information about my background, my family, what my mother was like, what my father is like. I included him in there, my stepfather, my sister, and dealings with them and how they kind of made me, how they influenced me so that I would have problems with codependency and stuff like that. So anyways, yeah, basically, yeah, I do believe that it's probably has gone into production, which may explain those crazy wildfires out in California. Maybe Satan doesn't like it that I'm doing so well with the Gail series. I'm not sure where the Hollywood studio is, where they're doing this. But I'm, yeah, I haven't heard anything about those fires, so I'm not really sure why they're happening or who's doing them. But I have noticed that since I've been going gung-ho on the Gail series, that they have picked up. So I think there may be a connection there. Anyways, I'm really blessed. I have financial security here where I live, and I'm able to get everything I need, and I'm getting along fine without a car and without ordering online. It's a challenge, and I have to be creative, and and sometimes when I think I'm stumped and I think the only way I can solve this problem is to order online, I often find that if I'll just calm down and be creative, I'll think of a solution where I can do in-store, in-person shopping, like the way Jesus wants. Yeah, I found some really cute booties. I'll be ready for next time to have a winter storm. What did I do with them? Oh, that's right. I put them in the closet. Let me go get them. That's because I'm going to go get me some insoles for them. Yeah. And I found me some bras. I have the most difficult breasts. For a while there, I actually started sewing my own bra. And I'm not sure this is going to work out because I had to make my own pattern. And I'm thinking, but it is so hard to find bras for me because I have these large breasts in an average weight body. And it seems like the automatons have sabotaged the stores around here so that none of them, like I bought some wonderful bras, sports bras at Target about 2 years ago. And Target no longer carries them. You can only get them at Amazon. That means I can't order online. It's a violation of what Jesus told me. But anyways, these are the booties I got at Belk's. They're cute, aren't they? The only problem is they're a little bit, I've got bunions and they're a little bit not wide enough. But they are they're called a loose fit shoe. So I tried them on in the store. They'll keep me warm in the winter, and they have water resistance. If you like they're sprayed with Scotch Guard. So yeah. So next time I have a winter storm, I'll be able to get out. But what I do need for those shoes is a better insole. I tried them with the insoles that came with the shoe. My feet just do not like it. My feet are rather difficult. Like I said, I have metatarsalgia, I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that right, and bunions, okay? So this requires me to have a wide shoe. I couldn't find any boots in my town that were wide and that would accommodate my bunions. These I think will work out. Atrex insoles work the best for me, but I can only get them online. So I'm going to try Superfeet. I think I found a Superfeet insole that looks very equivalent to the Atrex. And the New Balance that I found that's kind of equivalent to my Atrex is working out in my New Balance walking shoes. So I'm thinking, so now I have another excuse to go out and have an adventure. Because I have to go out to a different kind of far away, taking the bus to get these insoles. And so and then these shoes I'll be all ready. They're expecting it to get really cold on Monday. They don't think it's going to snow, but if it does, you see, the problem is the cold snaps that we've been having lately, they don't just last for 1 or 2 days. They last like 6 or 7 days. And what that means is that I'm going to be indoors, very obsession prone, if I can't get out, okay? But when the temperature is like in the teens or 20s, if I don't have the appropriate gear, I'm going to get frostbite. And, so I thought, boy, that'll really ruin your walks. So the good news is, though, is that last year I bought me like wool socks and winter, and I went to Cabela's about a month ago. In fact, I even made a video about that, and bought me some winter socks, and they came in really handy for when it was freezing. Those winter socks worked with my New Balance shoes, but even with the winter socks, it was so cold and windy, and it was kind of wet. Nothing is worse than wet with cold when you don't want to get frostbite. So I thought, you need to get waterproof boots. And I thought, with your feet? But I think I found a solution. So yeah, I find that if I calm down, there is a solution. I just don't want to be indoors. Fortunately, I don't live in Minnesota, right? So you would think the temperatures are not that bad right now. Like I'm able to go out, but we had an unusual week last week, a whole week of really cold. And I didn't want to be indoors for a whole week. That's like asking for obsessions. So, yeah. Yeah. But I made it, well, hopefully without causing the Gail shield to fall. When I give way to obsessions, the Gail shield falls. But the good news is I made it. I finished one story, and I'm just about finished with another big one. The one on the Quebec trial I've been working on and off since about a year ago. And I'm finally finished with it. And so now I'm just going gung-ho. When I'm done with this one, then I'll probably write the story next about when Brent was abducted by a UFO. Boy, do I have a lot of stories to write. So yeah, I just wanted to, I have to make a YouTube video, and that's what I've been doing all week, dealing with the weather, watching the news about those wildfires. I'm not sure why that's happening or who's behind it. My men haven't told me anything, but I'm not going to tell Brent what to do. He is the president, and he has better judgment than me and better intelligence information. So I do strongly suspect, though, that the automatons or the Genghis Khan Nazis may be behind it. Yeah. What they're trying to accomplish with it is a mystery. Why they're doing it is a mystery. I have been going gung-ho with the Gail series, so I guess we'll find out. Anyways, I'm really blessed here in this little apartment that I live in. I'm able to sew, and even I've never really sewn with knit fabrics before, and I needed to get a special foot for doing overcast stitching, which I didn't have. But I'm really blessed now because right now I basically can do everything that I could do in the 1990s when I was able to do all sorts of things that I love. Basically, I can sew anything that I would be interested in sewing. We do have a Joann Fabrics in my town, which I can go out to with the bus. And they care. And I bought material. See, the problem is I walk a lot, and I like my breasts to be comfortable and to get, it doesn't need to be firm, so I don't like the sports bras. When you have large breasts, the sports bras feel like, it's just too much. But I'm a walker. I'm not a runner, though I do run sometimes, like if I'm late for the bus. But I like a nice cotton material, and I found bras that are perfect. Hanes bras made out of mostly cotton, and now I can only get them online. So, but what I did was I copied the pattern, and I'm going to attempt to make them. But I'm going to give myself plenty of time because sewing takes a long time for me. Yeah, like I made me a pair of shorts here, but the good news is I've got everything I need to sew here. I even found a sewing supply store where I was able to buy an overcast foot for my sewing machine. Yeah, after my divorce in 2001, I lost my Montgomery Ward sewing machine that allowed me to overcast and do all sorts of nice stitches for everything. And now I'm even with that. I'm able to do everything on my Singer that I was able to do with that. So I'm able to sew. I'm able to cook all the things that I could cook that in the 1990s. Yeah, it's amazing, and I've learned how to take advantage of this to deal with living in a small place. The key is to buy items in small quantities, only what I'm going to use right away if I can. Sometimes I don't sell them that way, but that's also a Gail commandment too, and not to hoard. If I like one thing that I'm going to do is. About 2 years ago, before I discovered the buses, and when I thought I wouldn't have a car, I thought the only way I could get bras was to walk to a Walmart, which is about a 45-minute walk from me. And when I went to the Walmart, I ended up buying bras that are too small for me. And they have just been sitting in my drawer because I'm not using them because they feel like a girdle around my breasts, okay? It's just not comfortable. Finally, I said, now that you've got bras that fit you comfortably, I'm going to donate them. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and donate them to a thrift store around here. Yeah, so I'm going to be getting rid of them. I made a mistake when I bought them. At the time, which was almost 3 years ago, actually, I didn't have a car. My car wasn't working. And so I ended up walking to Walmart to get sports bras, and I bought the wrong size. I have determined from now on, when I buy bras, I need to be able to try them on. At Belk's, I was able to try them on. Now, the pattern that I'm making right now is based on bras that I know work for me. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm not sure. I've never tried making my own pattern before, and we'll see how this goes, okay? If I pull it off, I will show you the product when I'm done, I think. I don't know about bras, but yeah, that's going to take me a while. So yeah, that's what I've been doing all week, being creative, dealing with the problems that the automatons are creating for me, and counting my blessings that I'm able to do everything that I could do in the 1990s. I can sew basically anything that I could have sewed back then. I'm able to cook. Yeah, I bought me, even though I have limited space, I have everything that I need to make everything I care about. Like I can make my homemade bread. I've got a beautiful blue diamond pan that I bought at Walmart, and it allows me to make stuff like pancakes, you know, a non-stick surface. Then I also have my cast iron pans, and I have I've got bakeware, cookie sheets. For anything that I make, I've got everything that I need. Yeah. So I'm really thrilled that I've been able to pull this off in my little studio apartment. I have all the clothes I need. I have all the shoes I need. I'm not really a dressy person, but I'm a big time walker, so I need things like warm booties, good insoles. Yeah, for my next adventure going out, I'm probably going to go get me some insoles for the winter booties that I just bought. I had to kind of go all over town to get what I need since I can't order online because I do have difficult feet. Yeah, when I worked at Walmart in 2009, I went to a specialty foot store that put my feet on scanners. And they fit me up with Atrex. And at that time, they fit me up with Brooks shoes. I actually find New Balance works better. So, but the point is, the insoles they fit me with really help me. They made it so I could take it standing all day at Walmart when I had my job there. And ever since then, I've been using those insoles. And I really notice it if I don't use them in my shoes. So anyways, I'm just really blessed. I'm able to afford everything that I could need here. Yeah. And I did lose some of my food stamps money. Simply because my rent is so cheap because I'm in HUD housing. But I'm finding that that my Medicare Advantage plan has a really good food benefit, and that kind of makes up for what I lost. So it's like push and shove, but I'm managing and I'm doing well. Yeah. Yeah. I can't complain, and I get to live with my husband, Brent, even though I don't see him. So I'm blessed. Yeah. So anyways, I'm going gung-ho. You might want to check 00 on cable and see if they're putting into production. I'm going gung-ho. I am determined to write that Gail series for Jesus because I think it's going to really help him. Yeah. Yeah, the Bible got canceled in Easter Sunday 2022. And I really want to help Jesus to have the universe he wants. And he created the human race, I believe, to exemplify his free and true love ideals. And I think I and my men exemplify that as well. And if we tell our story, we can show people how we exemplify those ideals. We have gone through hell and back, and our story deserves to be told. So I'm telling it. And I have a gift for writing too. But I got to make sure I don't get obsessed or that gift can get messed up. So I'm finding ways to make sure I'm able to get out. And it's working. Yeah. I definitely notice a big difference in my ability to overcome obsessions when I get out. So I'm making sure that I'm able to do that. Yeah. Yeah, I got a beautiful coat. See, look at this. I got this at... This really keeps me warm when it gets cold. Yeah, this really worked. And then layers underneath this with the thermal underwear. So, yeah. So, Yep, I'm doing good. I'm wearing all the beautiful jewelry. So anyways, I'm due to make a YouTube video, so I just wanted to report on how I'm doing, making great progress with the Gail series, determined to keep the Gail shield strong, and determined not to give way to obsessions. Yeah, I noticed in 2023, when I was going on the buses for the first time and exploring all over Huntsville, that I didn't have a problem with obsessions. But once I kind of pulled back on that, the obsessions came back. So it really helps. So I am committed to going out at about 2 or 3 times a week to new places. Yeah. Oh yeah, my website is down. I don't know why. It might have some, maybe the servers are out in Los Angeles. I don't know. But I'm not going to worry about it. Yeah. I expect my website to... I think there's going to come a time in the future where the prime source for people to get information about me will be a combination of my YouTube channel and the Gail series. I have a feeling that Satan is his goal is to take down my website. Yeah. So I'm focused on transferring a lot of the stuff that I put at the website into Gail series stories. And I'm finding that this is actually a more effective way to tell my story anyway. Yeah. Jesus knew exactly what he was doing when he recommended I do this. Anyways, I'm going to go. Celebrating my victories and finishing the Gail series stories. I'm going at a really good pace. And it looks like I'm avoiding obsessions too.
In a world of secrets, where darkness reigns, there's a warrior rising.